Hello, today I'm going to be showing you 50 build hacks in the Minecraft 1.17 and 1.18 updates, so caves and cliffs. Every single one of these build hacks will involve at least one new block. So, let's get started. First, tough, andesite, and cobblestone is a good block palette to build a wall with. Also, this copper and jungle stairs make a good combination for a roof or a floor. Next, we have TNT. You can use red and black candles to look like fuses. Oh, wait. This fuse is lit, so isn't... Next, we have this chandelier design. This is using dark oak fences, fence gates, white stained glass panes, and candles, just like this. You can use different variations and colors of these blocks, but this is a basic design I came up with. Next, you can use hanging roots along with rooted dirt to make it look like a tree has roots. You can also use hanging roots under crops to make it look like they have roots. You can even spruce them up with some trapdoors. Next, if you put azalea bushes side by side, they can make a nice hedge or shrub around your yard or house. You can also put this around the edge of your yard or path. If you space these out by one block each, this creates a neat and tidy yard or path. You can also put moss blocks above them to make taller bushes. I'm sure you've seen that before, but what you may not have seen is them stacked, so it looks like a taller bush, just like this. You can even stack them up to 3 high, or more. Now, here, we have some drip leaf tables. You could try and use them as chairs, but then you'd just fall off. Next, we have this little green area. Here, I've used lanterns, chains, cave vines, drip leaves, vines, barrels, logs, and moss blocks to create this atmosphere. I've also used trapdoors with leaves above it to make it a little more enclosed and cozy. Next, you can use this interesting combination of blocks with scaffolding, lanterns, burnt out campfires, and glow item frames to make some interesting shelving for your Minecraft base. You can also use 2 lightning rods as a weightlifting bar and add copper blocks on the end for an even heavier one. Next, you can use this pattern in the deep slate to make an interesting floor, wall, or ceiling design. This is another chandelier design that I thought of, and if you want it to light up, you can even hide 1 or 2 sea lanterns in it. Next, this is one of my favorite build palettes for a roof, with warped stairs, dark prismarine, and for the edge, copper. Also, stone, deep slate, and black stone bricks make an excellent transition. Now, this is a good block palette for an evil house. This is polished basalt for the pillars, and a combination of normal and smooth basalt for the wall. It's an almost unnoticeable difference, but it really breaks up the repetitiveness if you just had one of these blocks. I've also used polished deep slate stairs as the roof. Speaking of deep slate stairs, you can use cobbled deep slate stairs and tiled deep slate stairs to make shingles on your roof, as they naturally look like shingles. You can use glow lichen to make a wall of vines more interesting. You can also use glow lichen to make repetitive or bland textures more broken up and interesting. Another gradient we have is between cobblestone with glow lichen, mossy cobblestone, moss, and grass, and it looks especially good from the top. Now, tinted glass is very useful for industrial style builds, for windows or for a fence like I have it here, along with iron bars, smooth stone, and iron doors, just like this. Next, we have this secret entrance to a base. So you can get in, but you can't get out without some leather boots equipped on your feet. I'm sure you've seen this many times though. So, an additional thing is, if you hide it in a mountain, your friends may be wearing leather boots already, and they'll just walk right over your base without accidentally finding it, because they don't want to fall into the natural powdered snow on that mountain. Next, you can use rooted dirt in some normal dirt to make a completely dirt area look a little bit more interesting. Next, you can use moss carpets and azalea leaves, flowering and non-flowering, to make your bushes look a little bit more solid than if you just used leaves. You can also use dead bushes as branches for a small shrub with moss carpet on top. You can use pointed dripstone in this sort of a pattern to create a cool wall pattern, and you can even make it look like teeth if you do it differently. You can also have a different block in the back to create a different effect. Here is another chandelier design using acacia fences that blend in with the lightning rods and copper blocks, as well as chains and nether brick fences to create a more dark and evil look once again, as well as these candles, although I'll show you some even better candles you can put on these fences that would blend in even more a little later. But that's for later, and this is now. So if we go in here, you can use the bottom of skulk sensors, which you can only get through commands right now, as a starry night sky, using this command. And if you add this to the end of that command, then it will even glow a little bit, just like this one. Now, let's move on to a little archway design. For some fancy archways and pillars, you can use a little spot of amethyst, just for a little bit of extra color in your build. Just a little splash of color. Now this is a nice gradient. It uses amethyst blocks, budding amethyst, which you can only get in creative, as the ones in amethyst geodes cannot be moved. Acacia logs behind purple stained glass, and glazed terracotta right there. Now in here, this is a bit of a library. Now the bookshelves are bookshelves and looms, and a bunch of libraries have ladders that go on a rail and slide back and forth. Now I've made this in Minecraft. I have signs down here for one of the rails, and then I have two different designs for the rail up top. You can use just lightning rods like this, or you can use signs on lightning rods just like this to create a rail that's a little less visible but matches up a little bit more with the ladder. I've also used bundles down here for a little bit more effect. Now you can use dead bushes in and out of flower pots to make these bushes with moss. And you can use diorite, calcite, powdered snow, and normal snow to make this cool build palette right here. Now, if I told you this was a secret base, then your first instinct would probably be to go through the painting. And in fact, there is something here. But you just fall down and die. Now you might be a little bit confused, like there's no secret base here, it's just a trap. It's exactly what I want you to think. Because the real secret base is right here. This is powdered snow, so you can walk right through it. And the secret base is just here on the other side. Now here's 4 more build palettes. Using blocks of raw gold, birch planks, yellow terracotta, and gold blocks, you can create a cool build palette with this. Using light gray and white terracotta, oak planks, and raw iron blocks, you can create this interesting build palette. With acacia planks, copper blocks, orange terracotta, and blocks of raw copper, you can create this build palette. You can even create a build palette with this oxidized copper and stripped warped stems. Next, we have some build palettes that can go on the ground. We have oxidized copper along with this warped nylium. Or we could use oxidized copper and warped planks. These are both very nice build palettes. Here, this is a little greenhouse design that I've made using spore blossoms and lilacs. I've chosen this because the spore blossom particles and the stem color matches quite well as the pink color of the spore blossom and the pink color of the lilacs. So this is a nice greenhouse design. Now here, another use for candles is that you can put lime, green, or orange candles on pumpkins or melons to make it look like there's a stem on them. Now, you can also put candles on end rods or lightning rods, just like this, to have a candle stand. Now, these are candles on their respective glass pane colors. Now, the one over here, this is the default candle with the default glass. It doesn't look as good as the other ones, but it still matches. Now, next, we have we can put candles on fences to make another candle holder. And the ones that match the most that I've found are the undyed candle with oak, the brown candle with spruce, the undyed candle with birch, the brown candle with jungle, the orange candle with acacia, the brown candle with dark oak, the purple candle with crimson, and the cyan candle matches the warped wood perfectly. And even though this isn't wood, the last type of fence is going to be the black candle with the nether brick fence. Now here, you can break up your garden a little bit by putting a moss path in the grassy area. And it's very subtle, but it's a good touch. Especially in a different biome, this would stand out more, where the grass was a different color. Now here, it might not look like much, but I've hidden a spore blossom right in there. And you can see all these particles filling up a space, so you don't need to have the spore blossom visible if you don't want, for these magical particles. Now, for our final one, our 50th build hack in Minecraft Caves and Cliffs. You can use tinted glass to make windows so you can keep a dark and moody atmosphere in a building while still being able to look outside. Here I've used soul torches and also some more behind tinted glass, as well as some candles right up here. Now that has been 50 build hacks in the Minecraft Caves and Cliffs update. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. Goodbye. Also ignore that I'm Santa.